For more on Russia-China ties, I'm joined now by Vladimir Golstein, professor of Slavic Studies at Brown University. Professor, this is Russia's biggest economic event of the year. What are you looking for in President Xi's upcoming speech at the forum in a few hours from now?
Well, what we see is a broadening of all kind of relationship and all kind of, not just economic, but economic is definitely very important. It's important for Russia, which had to deal with the brunt of European and Western sanctions. So they are more than happy to trade, to exchange, new scientific ideas and so on. It's equally important to China, because China recently been threatened and bullied by the United States in these trade talks, and they are not getting anywhere. So it's very important for China to show that they actually sort of sell all around the world. So they're making a great amount of deals, including, rather symbolic, but nevertheless important deal with this, 5G Huawei company, which the West now, under leadership of the United States, put on defensive. They don't want this company, leader in its field. They don't want this company to establish 5G telecommunication, but the Russian company MTS said, let's try it, let's work on it. So it's very symbolic and very significant to show that, wherever there is a slack in the West, Russia and China can pick it up.
China is Russia's largest trading partner. Trade has increased in the last few years. You mentioned Huawei. Is this enough, though, to help improve Russia's economic outlook, given the sanctions that you mentioned?
I think it definitely will improve it. And, it's both it's important, just, politically. It's important psychologically, because, one of the ideas of the sanctions is to show Russia that they can be kind of bullied and isolated. And, now Russians feel they cannot be bullied, they cannot be isolated. And there is a tremendous potential in trade. Russia has a very advanced, agriculture, organic agriculture in the Far East. It's like natural to trade. It's also that, they benefit from technology. They now want to build some kind of factories, airplanes. They're going to use some Chinese technology in terms of, SUVs and trucks. So I think the sky is the limit there, and I think it will be absolutely mutually beneficial, this trade.
We have about a minute left. We're almost into the third day of this state visit. What would you say are the key takeaways so far? Has there been anything that has stood out to you? And what does it say about the personal relationship between Presidents Xi and Putin?
I think their relationships are amazing. They all stress that they are now became not just partners, but friends. They met, since they, came to power about 28 times. And what's important, and I think it's important to stress, that these two countries used to be, they have long history. They used to be rivals. Sometimes they used to be ideological rivals. But now both countries left ideology behind, and they're entering the world stage as pragmatic, as realistic countries. And something totally different happened in the West, which used to be realistic and pragmatic. Now the West is driven by some ideological concerns, preoccupations, fixations, while both Russia and China are charging ahead on this pragmatic, mutual respect, diplomatic, relationship. And I think they show in the 21st century how things should be done, diplomatically, politically, multilaterally. There's a lot of differences between the countries, but they learn to recognize it and deal with them diplomatically rather than issuing orders, bullying, like, we've seen recently done in the West. So that's the main takeaway. This relationship between the countries can overcome maybe some kind of tensions and can be mutually beneficial.
All right, Professor Vladimir Golstein, thank you for joining us from Brown University.